The 1 month challenge, guys, has come to an end, or we could better say came to an end, since this is the last day of the challenge. Guys, I'm gonna tell you whether I succeeded or not. Probably you're gonna know this from the title, because probably I am gonna put a title related to the outcome of this challenge. However, I'm gonna tell you how I did what I did, and I'm gonna give some tips. Probably that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna share you my experience with my 1 month challenge. Guys, before that I start talking about the 1 month challenge in and of itself, I wanna know what your 1 month challenges were. So please comment. Please tell me what your 1 month challenges were, and please tell me whether you succeeded or not, whether you're satisfied of the work you put in this month or not. So tell me those things. Those are very important. And as I say always, comment and give me feedback. Tell me whether there are some things which can be improved. There certainly are. And tell me what I have to improve and how I can do it. Thank you very much for the support. As always, subscribe to the channel. That's very important. If you haven't already, hit the like button, and the same thing as always, activate the notifications bell and share the video and the channel. To all the people guys, we have to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the summer, and I think we're gonna do it. I think it's possible. We have to be confident, don't we? So my 1 month challenge was related to weight loss. I had gained 5.4 kilograms. I went to a doctor in January, and I was weighing, I think, 63.0. And then on May the 20th, I weighed myself, and my weight was 68.4 kilograms. I don't know how much it is in pounds, guys. I'm sorry. I think that 63 is like 135 or 140 pounds, and 68 is like 150, probably something like that. But I had gained 5.4 kilograms, and I clearly wasn't satisfied. I was really angry with that. I know why I gained all that weight. The reasons, I think, were clear. I mean, the week in Greece probably there again toward 2 kilograms. I don't know. I'm just assuming. But other than that, I think that I did a mess with the carbohydrates. I started to consume too many carbohydrates, and also too much sugar, probably you could say, because I play tennis 4 or 5 times a week, and after play tennis, I used to, now I don't do it anymore, because for this 1 month challenge I didn't eat any sort of cake whatsoever. But as I was saying, I used to eat a piece of cake, let's put it in that way, after every single tennis and training session. But one piece, it's fine. The problem is that I was eating the whole cake, but that's a different story. So I had gained those 5 kilograms, and that was unfortunate, but it was all completely my fault. And I took full responsibility for my actions. On the 22nd of May, I actually announced the 1 month challenge on my WhatsApp status and on Instagram, and then on the 23rd, I made the first video related to the 1 month challenge here on YouTube. And the last day actually was today, the 22nd of May, and I'm recording this video on the 22nd of June. Sorry, my gosh, what stupid mistake. The last day available for the challenge, the deadline was the 22nd of June, and today it is the 22nd of June, and here we are with this video. I actually had planned to record the video about sports before, but it doesn't make much sense. I'm going to make the video about sports. The video about sports is going to be out in some days, and I'm going to record it in some days. And today I think it is more professional and is more accurate to make this video related to this 1 month challenge, which finished today, actually. Now, did I make it or not? The answer is yes, I made it. As I expected, and as I knew. And there is one very important thing to do, I think, which is to never lie to yourself. It is very important not to lie to yourself. And I had promised on WhatsApp, with WhatsApp status and that stuff. I had promised on Instagram, and I had promised here on YouTube that I was gonna make it, and I made it. In fact, I'm gonna show you probably the picture. I weighed 62.75 kilograms, which is the weight I was striving for. And I made it, guys. I made it. I lost 5.6 kilograms. So 5.5 kilograms, so almost 6 kilograms, more or less. I lost 13 pounds, I would guess, I would assume almost a stone, in 31 days actually, or 30 days, in 1 month. So how did I make it? So let's start with the key. The key was certainly running, and to run more, because I'll tell you, in January I had run 140 kilometers, and then I stopped running that much in February, March, April, and May. In February, March, April, and May, in those 4 months, I averaged maybe 60 or 70 kilometers per month, which is not a lot by any means. Then in June, I picked up running again, or more than I picked up running again. I started running again with, better frequency, and I started running more and faster and all that stuff. In June, I don't know how many kilometers I've run, because I also had an injury, and we're gonna get to that. The injury actually made this challenge far more complicated than how it would have been if I hadn't had the injury. However, it doesn't matter, because in the end I did it anyway. I made it anyway. Coming back to the point related to running, the key was certainly running, as I said. And in June, I think that I've run something like 100 kilometers. And more than that, well, I'm yet to run 10 kilometers today, because today I have a 10-kilometer run, but that's not for stuff. That's a different stuff. That was the key. Running more than how much I used to run. The other key, of course, eating less carbohydrates and not eating them at all in the last 2 weeks. That's something I try to do. I will not spend my whole life not eating carbohydrates, of course, but I tried not to eat carbohydrate, and I did it for 2 weeks, and it was extremely successful, I would say. From the 7th of June up until today, I only ate carbohydrates when I eat pizza, because every single week I ate pizza. That's my cheat meal. I mean, pizza is the best food in the world, I think. There is no doubt about it. Italian food is the best food in the world, but unfortunately I don't get to enjoy Italian food as much as I'd like to, since I don't live there. But coming back to the point of the weight loss, I stopped eating carbohydrates for 2 weeks, and that was a very good, that helped me, let's put it in that way. And the key, other than those two things, the key is always discipline, of course. And also I started training more again. I've been training 2 times a day for 1 month. 2 times every single day, no. For 1 month, no. But in June, after finishing school, I train every single day, twice a day probably. I do push-ups every single day regularly. I do 100 push-ups. I'm gonna probably try to do more, maybe. Let's find out. But, the key with weight loss, guys, is eating less food and doing more exercise. Those are the 2 keys which you need if you want to lose weight. If you do those 2 things correctly, you're going to lose weight. And it is 100% certain that you will lose weight. If you want a more specific video about weight loss, because I was obese when I was a kid, so I know some things. And I know how difficult it can be mentally to lose weight, and more than to lose weight, I know how difficult it can be to start. However, I encourage every single fat person out there to start to pursue a weight loss journey, or a journey to get in better health and in better shape. And the reason why I suggest doing that, and I recommend doing that, is because the rewards you will obtain after going through the suffering you will go through are going to be far more satisfying than how painful the process was. So that's the piece of advice I have for all the fat people out there, to be honest. That's my piece of advice. And I've been fat too. And if you want a video about, being fat and how to lose weight and all that stuff and my experience, I'm going to make the video. If you want, I can make a whole video about my journey from when I was 6 or 7 years old, when I gained 8 kilograms in Cuba, from now. But, that's just something more that I could make if you want, that specific video. So the challenge started on the 22nd of May. I'm going to actually look back at the whole challenge. And, actually, up until the 7th of June, the challenge was, pretty much eating less carbohydrates, less bread, especially because I always had problems with bread. The reason why I got obese when I was a kid was because I was eating too much bread, and for that reason I got obese. And as I said, the key, in the first 2 or 3 weeks, I didn't run that much because I I'm not gonna say that I didn't have much time, but to run in the morning before going to school is tougher than running normally in June. So that was the key. That was the problem. Let's put it in that way. So for the first 2 or 3 weeks, basically, I didn't lose much weight. I lost maybe 2 or 3 kilograms, and what I did was basically, eat less and follow the diet that my doctor had given to me. Because what I was doing was eating more than the diet. That's the reason why I gained weight, not because I was eating what the diet said or the quantity of food the diet said. Then in June, I started running again. As I said, actually, no, that was before. Well, in June, I started running a lot again, which was the key, from the first week of June onwards, and I lost a lot of weight because of running. Then, unfortunately, 10 days ago, I think, I injured myself. I got injured, and that was while doing lungs. I did a workout, which I found on Instagram, and I said, okay, let's give it a try. And I did lungs, and I think in the final lungs, my hamstring, I kind of felt some pain there, and for the following, I think, 3 or 4 days, I could walk and I couldn't run, and that was a big problem. That was a very interesting, no, I wouldn't call it interesting. That was a very unfortunate obstacle, which could have hindered, and it actually hindered my path towards the weight loss. And this injury was a problem because I had to walk. So I didn't run actually until yesterday, where I ran 16 kilometers for the birthday of one of my best friends. And I ran those 16 kilometers and I hadn't run in 10 days. So for these 10 days, what I did was walk, and I basically kept the same weight. I until 2 days ago, I was weighing 64 kilograms. Then yesterday, I did the final rush. No, 2 days ago, on Thursday and Friday, I did the final rush. On Thursday, I played tennis twice for like 3 hours and managed to lose further weight. And then yesterday was the key, actually, because actually, I will be honest, I slowed down a little bit between 10 days ago and 3 days ago. I mean, that week was a pretty boring week because I didn't lose any weight. So I had to do this final rush yesterday, and yesterday actually I walked 10 kilometers and ran 16 kilometers and played tennis for 2 hours. So that was the final key, and I weighed myself and I weighed 62.75 kilograms. Guys, the 1 month challenge came to an end after 1 month. Of course, the challenge is called the 1 month challenge, so it is supposed to last for 1 month. It finally came to an end. Let me know if you managed to achieve what you wanted to achieve. Let me know that, and let me know if you managed to achieve your goals. I hope that you achieved to do it, and I hope that I inspired somebody along the way. Let's put it in that way, and I hope that I helped some people. Maybe it will be fascinating. Thank you very much, guys, for the immense support. See you in the next video related to sports. I love you all, and I wish you the very best. See ya.